I wish I had my old cards.
I wish you had your old cards too. I even tried to get you to take the cards and leave them in our house.
I know you did.
I tried so hard, and you were like, no, because we're not going to use them. And I'm like, yeah, I don't care. But you know who still has their cards and you don't?
Oh, and I don't remember how I built those decks, and I could buy all those cards again and still.
You got to get back in the mood and that's what kind of killed your mood, didn't it?
Yep,
with
I guess.
Magic.
I
mean, we still play. We just don't have the people to play.
Yeah.
If we had friends who still played together, like if we had friends nearby who played Magic and would actually come over
Elizabeth
and play.
and Dustin when they was
and they
playing.
Stopped.
Yep. And then Tina and Sean and
they only came over once.
But
I don't know. But either way, if we had people who would come over regularly and play, or we could go to their place and play, or something.
Mm-hmm. If we had friends.
No friends. I have work comrades, which I would like to say a lot of them are my friends, but
yeah,
it's hard hanging out when you're an adult.
It is.
Back when we lived in Piggott, like people, we lived right in the middle of town, and we could just go to people's houses. And now we kind of moved.
A lot of our friends kind of lived right there within like a block or two.
Most of them did, yeah. Because
I know Scott and them lived just a couple houses down from your dad's.
That was Patrick and them. Sky, I don't think lived there. It was Patrick and Dobie, and
Sky lived there.
She stayed there. She didn't live there. That was
Patrick's
place. That was Patrick's place that he was written with Dobie.
That was Subway's place.
Subway's place.
That was the Subway house.
It was the Subway house.
But no, but she was staying there. Whatever.
People were staying there.
A bunch of
I don't know who was living there. There were people there.
it was like the Greenway house.
I don't know whose house it was, but it was someone's house.
It's like the Greenway house. There's supposed to have been 6 of us, and there's probably at least 10 of us.
Right down the road from where I lived and where we stayed. A couple houses
down from there, and then Derek lived a block over, and then Jesse lived like another block or two.
Because we'd be sitting there playing our video games or watching TV, and all of a sudden we'd hear on the window because they'd be walking by our house. Little shits wouldn't stop and say hi. They just knock and scare me.
Yeah.
And then we had kids, and then people just kind of drifted apart.
Yeah. A lot of the people I hang out with now, or hung out with then, I don't even talk to anymore.
I still talk to my friends sometimes.
I mean, I would talk to them some, but Derek's off.
If Rachel would come over more, we could have her play Magic with us. I think she would like Magic.
She got into it a little bit there because we had her get some, and we played with her that time we went over there. While we still dating.
I tried to get Patricia into playing Magic. Oh, she didn't pick up on it, I don't think. She played a bit because she had cards, and then I don't know. Every person I tried to get play Magic stopped.
I remember James and Tabitha.
I remember them.
I like playing with them.
I like playing with them too.
That was fun. I felt like that point in time, that was the best and the funnest playing because
they would get into it.
They would get into
serious about.
You had your good goblin and dragon deck and stuff. My zombie deck, my vampire deck were
we'd trade
pretty
together.
Good.
We'd all trade together, and we'd have.
We had
serious competition.
We all had really good decks, and at any given match, it was basically a toss-up.
At any given match, James was going to win.
Well, at times.
At any given match, James was going to win. It doesn't matter. No, he won every single.
No, I beat him once. I remember.
Once. How many times have we played together?
I don't know. But, I mean, it was still close, regardless. Even if he won, it was still close. It was good matches. It wasn't like a fucking landslide victory.
Yeah. With my dragon deck against his stuff, because mine was awesome. I have an almost unbeatable dragon deck, and RNG works out.
Yeah.
The only card I need now is something that gives me hexproof, where nobody can target me directly, and then it's pretty much unbeatable. The only thing that would otherwise would be like area of effect type cards, like everybody does this or. But I just need that one card, and it's a dragon enchantment deck, all 5 colors, and it's a monster, and I love it.
Yeah, they recommend about 60 card decks.
Mm-hmm.
Always had like 100+ cards.
Yep, he had too many cards.
That one
blue Jace deck where it was Jace was in it. I know that. I don't know if it wasn't center. Well, no, he had the ability to like skim cards and such.
Maybe
one of the Jaces.
I don't know, but I know that one card. I love that one blue. I don't remember what it was. I don't have it anymore. That was before.
That was before it got stolen.
Yeah, but it was every turn your opponent had to discard cards off top of their deck
equal to the number of cards
in their graveyard. Yeah. So every time it would double. And if I had thought about it then, I know that was just in my straight blue deck. That was just, peeling away their cards. But that would have been good in like a zombie deck. Especially the cards where it's like you get...
Yeah, it would have been great in your Lilith deck because you could pull cards out of all the graveyards onto your deck.
Yeah, that would have been nice. I remember my Chancellor deck. That was kind of good because I had 4 copies of each of the Chancellors.
Yep.
Whatever, and they all had ability, like if you got it in your first hand, something happened. You got extra life, somebody lost life, this, that, whatever.
We don't have a lot of... we kind of stopped playing because my sister was dating somebody, rest in peace, him. But they broke into our storage unit that we kept a whole bunch of our stuff in. This was before we moved to this house. Mm-hmm. But they still...
we found out the day that we
found out
the papers for this house.
The day that we were like, yep, let's move everything over, whatever's left. Wasn't a whole lot. They stole a bunch of crap.
About half of our crap.
But his cards were part of it, and that's kind of what killed the magic in our family. But
I know we built the kids their own decks.
Yeah, we need to get them little fuckers to...
I know Jara played some with us. I think the other two might have a little bit. But
Kobe isn't too into it because he would be into it more if he could read
better, yeah.
I wish we could get him to read.
Mm-hmm.
But mine was... we have a lot of older cards, and a lot of people that I hear talking about Magic now, it's all commander decks, which I don't understand the commander thing.
I can understand it.
It's like you have a legendary creature, and that's like on your sideboard or something.
Kind of.
I don't know. If you know anything about commander decks, please tell, because I don't know much about it. We play straight, normal, standard, for the most part, standard. Sometimes we do two-headed dragon or something when I'm playing my dragon deck and Derek wants a chance to win.
Yep. I know Jared liked playing there for a while.
Cats.
She had cats.
We were going to try and do a unicorn deck for Kita.
But there's not that many unicorns.
Not many unicorns, but...
I haven't looked in a while, but yeah.
We were going to do a dinosaur deck for Kobe.
Yeah, his is a 2-colored red and green dinosaur deck. And I think his is done. His ain't Jared's, but we had a deck built for Kita, but it's not just straight unicorns.
I can't remember.
It was still a work in progress where we was going to kind of...
I think we were going to do like unicorn and elves or something.
It had unicorns and Pegasus and some other stuff. It was a white deck. I remember that.
Yeah.
Maybe some elves. I don't know.
Well, no, if it was white, then it wouldn't be elves because that's green.
Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, it was a white deck. Maybe it was
angels and unicorn horses?
I don't think it was unicorn or angels. It was... what's those others? It was like a humanoid.
Yep, it sure was.
I don't remember what it was. Oh, well. I remember my Eldrazi's when we was trying to collect those.
Oh,
and I got the 2 best Eldrazi cards.
He had the best pulls. We would buy cards. We would each buy like the same number of decks, or not decks, but packs and such.
Starter packs.
We'd buy the same number of starter packs. Same, if he got a booster, like a booster box, I'd buy a booster box, and we would, have little mini competitions with each other, I guess, because we'd open our packs and then we'd see who got
2. I'm like, this one's yours, this one's mine. Whatever's in here is mine.
Yeah.
Whatever's in there is yours.
Yeah.
And
he would pull the best stuff. He would get all the planeswalkers. He would get all the cool mythic rares. When the Eldrazi's first came out, when we started getting booster packs for that, he pulled the biggest Eldrazi and the enchantment in the same freaking pack.
Same booster.
It wasn't a god pack, but it was still a really cool pull. Like 2 back-to-back.
Oh my, that was just... Those Eldrazi's were ridiculous.
Oh,
and I think that's when I beat James was
with your
right after
your nasty Eldrazi deck.
I think a little after Eldrazi's came out, and he didn't have any yet because they had just came out. I was
and
like,
then
oh,
guess what? He built a deck
Yeah.
just to beat your freaking Eldrazi deck. We learned that if he's asking us what deck we're playing, don't tell him, because he made decks to beat our decks, specifically to beat our decks.
So what I did, we had those boxes, like deck boxes that Patricia made or somebody, and I would randomly put them in those, and they all kind of look similar, so you can tell what deck was what. And I just like pick a box. That's the deck I'll play with. I don't know what it is. You don't know what it is.
And then our decks got too big for the boxes because they were like little, maybe 60 or 90, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I know mine was always like 100 plus, 130, somewhere in there. I know James always like, man, that's too big. I was like, no, I like it.
No, there's no rule against it. Yeah,
and how I had them built at that point, it didn't really matter how big it was. Because I know a lot of people was like, well, if it's too big, then you know, it's less chance of getting the cards that you want. I was like, I had good enough cards that it didn't matter what cards I pulled, I was gonna have a good hand.
I know mine. I had to
even my 5-colored ones. I was like, no. I was like, I have enough because a lot of the mana I had in there were multicolored mana, so it didn't even matter. It's like, you know, I could have all black cards. I didn't have to have all black mana. I could.
Yeah.
I don't think I had any just plain mana in some of my multicolored things just for that.
Yeah.
Or I had some that could be any color or whatever, you know, Taffer.
I know my dragon deck at first was really hard to actually build because it was my first. I decided I wanted dragons, and I had this really cool red, white, and blue dragon. I want to say it wasn't Nimrod, but it wasn't Nimrod. I don't know why Nimrod's coming, but it started with an N. And it was a really cool dragon. It was red, white, and blue. It was like an NJ something, isn't it? I don't know. But anyway, I had it, and I had a few others because I had like some metal artifact dragons that I traded somebody for, and I got a few of those cards from him. So I had these cool cards, and I was like, you know what? I want to do a 5-color dragon deck. First time I ever did a 5-color deck. Had no idea what I was doing, and had to. I think we bought a 5-color starter deck. I found it at Walmart. I know the deck that I used, I found at Walmart, and I had to basically build into that deck or whatever.
I know you always like more red because of dragons. I always like black cards, which anybody that doesn't play Magic or know much, like there's 5 colors.
Red, white, blue, green, black.
Yep, and each one's kind of got its own play style in a sense. I mean, there are some that kind of cross boundaries or whatever, cross the line, do different
Red's things. Destruction, destroy, you know,
deal
all
damage
that stuff.
Type stuff.
Like
very
in
heavily.
Your face, boom. Green's growing and kind of overwhelming.
Yeah, a bunch of monsters all at once.
White is more
boosting your life,
and you know, just
protection and stuff.
Blue is control.
So you're making people discard cards and stuff like that.
And then black is just kill.
And black is more, I guess, just kill.
Just kill.
Poison, stuff like that. But I know vampires. I love vampires, which are mainly black. There are some in all kinds. And most of them have, was it Life Touch? I think that's what it was called.
Yeah, they will deal damage and gain
however
life.
much damage it deals, you get that much life, and I love that. And then
at the time, though, we were building our decks and buying cards and such. Goodness, she just sneezed like 4 times. Yeah. But at the time, we found tgcplayer.com. I think that was the website, TGC Shop or something. But anyway, we found this website.
We started going somewhere else, though. We didn't go there.
Star City Games.
But
we started going there, and we would buy cards. And he had, at the time of our cards getting stolen, his cards getting stolen, he had every single vampire.
Yeah.
He literally went down the list and bought every single vampire that he could.
Because, I mean, buying them by themselves, I mean, like a nickel on some of them.
It depends.
I was about to say, some of them was a couple bucks.
But we would go through and, you know, find the cards that we wanted, and we would just specifically buy those cards, which, I mean, at
that point, it was easier because there wasn't as many packs, and you can get on there and have every pack, every card, and you could look at it, see what it does. You could sort them based off of packs. Yep. So
you could pretty much build your own deck on that website. It was really cool.
Yeah. So whenever they came out with like a new booster pack or whatever, you get on there and see what all cards are in that set, and then be like, oh, hey, they got a new vampire. I want that. Buy it or whatever. But I love my vampires. That's my main one. I had zombie decks. I love that, which is exactly what it sounds like. Your monsters die. You can usually bring them back. You can get other people's
We pretty much did Planeswalker decks. He had his Planeswalkers. I had my Planeswalkers. I had Elspeth and Nicol Bolas, and that was the only two because I pulled Elspeth. That was the only friggin' one I pulled, and then I bought Nicol Bolas. Yep. You pulled Sorin and
I've had
Lilith
a couple Sorins, couple Lilith.
Jace.
I had like 3 Liliths.
I think I had a Chandra. No, you pulled Chandra.
I had two Chandras.
You had
like
2
Chandras,
and
Jaces.
you felt bad for me and gave me 1 Chandra.
I had the Knight one. I forgot what his name is. I have the Green Lion dude. I think it's green.
Ajani?
Or is he white?
He's white and green. Or
white.
And green. It's white.
Okay, white and green I think is the one I remember. I remember a little bit green. I had all kinds of Planeswalkers.
We kind of stopped really when the flip cards started coming out, when those started getting real popular, and then Eldrazi's. I can't remember which came first, but I know I was starting to build a werewolf deck when you lost all of your cards.
Yeah, because I had a bunch of vampires that had the flip cards.
But I was starting on my werewolf deck when his cards got stolen, and then that kind of killed it. I still have all my cards.
Yeah, I got quite a bit now.
I told him, I was like, you know what? You should take your cards and keep them with us. And he was like, no, Eli's burning everything. I don't want to lose my cards to Eli. And guess what? Someone still stole your cards.
It had nothing to do with Eli.
I had Beanie Babies, and he burnt all my Beanie Babies. And I'm still a little
And that was because it was in the garage, and he tried to claim the garage.
Yeah, and he still burnt all of our Beanie Babies, babe.
Your Beanie Babies.
I'm still upset about that.
But
I had the one that was going to make you $1 billion. I knew it, but remember that craze?
Oh yeah.
Does anyone remember those crazes? You know, where they would buy like the Precious Moments little figurines. Those are expensive now. Have you seen the prices of those Precious Moment figurines?
I never had a Precious Moment.
You never had one? I think my grandma had some, but my other grandma, not this one. This one had clowns, but
yeah. But the whole reason I didn't take it, because what happened was we was living in a place, and I had got laid off from work right after we had our first daughter, and then I was off work for a little bit, and then I started working at utility. I was off probably a couple months.
We had to move out of our house.
Yeah, so I had got laid off in January.
We were having trouble paying our bills, and we moved in with my dad.
Yeah. I was getting there.
Okay, well, I'm excited to talk.
No, shut up. You've been talking.
I'm excited about magic.
But no, I know. But we was living there. I got laid off from Trinity. In Trinity, I was getting decent money. I was working I was working like 72 hours a week a lot of times.
If he died, I would have been set for life.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I'm glad he didn't die, but I would have been set for life.
Yeah, man. Good insurance, good everything. But I had got laid off from there right after we had our first daughter. And then I was trying to get a job afterwards. I got one at Arrow Bouquet, which is just a temporary thing. I worked there for a couple months, and then they did their little layoff.
You weren't good enough for them to keep.
Well, they wasn't going to keep anybody anyways.
They keep people.
They keep office people.
They've been keeping other people too now.
Not. Oh, maybe not.
At that point,
they didn't.
They weren't keeping people.
They just do basically like holiday balloons and candy for like Valentine's Day, and then after Mother's Day, they lay off everybody until closer to the end of the year and stuff. And so I worked there for a little bit just so I'd have some money until I could find somewhere else. And then I got laid off from there, and then got a job at utility. And then I was working there for a little bit, and then I'd only been there a couple months, and then they started talking about there might be a layoff. I'm like, oh my God, 3
just
layoffs?
Went through all this crap.
I was like, this would be the 3rd layoff within like the first couple months of the year.
It's just like, you're not having a job anymore.
I know. It was like, what the hell?
Like, it's time for the woman to step up.
I guess.
It's not fair. I didn't want to step up.
And so we thought I was going to get laid off again. So we was struggling there for a while to
there
bills.
at the beginning of our relationship, we had a bunch of issues with money.
And then we was like, you know what, this is, if I do get laid off, we're not going to be able to keep on. So we decided to move out and move in with her dad. And then we got a storage unit and put all of our stuff in it. And she's wanted me to take my cards with us there. And I was like, no. I was like, we didn't play that much. I was usually at work or something. It was just going to sit in the closet. And we had a bunch of other random crap in the closet.
Like my Beanie Babies.
My Beanie Babies were in the closet.
I had some.
Oh. I don't know.
He ended up getting into them and took them.
I don't know. I know all of our movies and stuff. Or the DVDs were in there.
We had a bunch of stuff in there.
Not the VHSs, but the DVDs were in there because we had a DVD player in our room and stuff. So I was like, nah, I'll just put in the storage unit and this and that. And then after we'd stay there for a little bit, and then the whole layoff scare kind of went away, and then we had saved up some money. So then we was like, all right, well, let's get our own house, which is how we got this.
Yeah, we started house shopping on Zillow and then found this amazing deal.
Yeah.
Like we were looking and
it
everything.
Has issues now.
Everything
stuff,
was like in the 80s and up range, like everything we could find. And we stumbled upon this house or something, and it was $50,000. And we were like, that's not bad at all. What's wrong with it? That was literally our first thought, was like, what's wrong with this house? And we went to the house, we looked at it. He lost the keys. And
that wasn't even the first time. That was
this was after we put that money down so they wouldn't sell it to a landlord.
Yeah.
But anyway, there was no issues with the house. House was perfect. It was this ugly
came
yellow.
With some appliances.
Came with a few appliances. It was this ugly ass yellow color, and I was like, we're gonna paint it anyway. I don't care. And
yeah, our goal was we was going to get this all painted and set up and ready before we started moving anything in, because we still staying at her dad's house. So I was like, all right, I could do that because I was working here in town. That's when we kind of moved here, so it'd be closer to my work. And then she was working at Hardee's at that point, and the plan was for her to transfer to the one here in town. And then that way I'm not having to drive back and forth to work all the time. And I was like, well, just do this, because I didn't want to get furniture in here and have to move it around while we was painting and doing everything else. And so we got this all ready. One day we went up to sign the papers for this house, and then they canceled on us.
Yeah.
Or postponed it. And that day is the day that we got the ticket, because I didn't have my seatbelt on in the Walmart parking lot. I was like, you got to be kidding me. And that was right after they started that law, because before that, I hardly ever wore my seatbelt.
Yeah.
But that was around the time where they was like, you have to. Before that, they couldn't pull you over for it. They could just add on if they already pulled you over.
No, then they changed to where they could pull you over for it, and we didn't get the memo until we got pulled over for it.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell? So, because I remember we came up here for that reason, and I think we was going to go to Walmart beforehand. And then what was that Walmart they called and had to postpone it for like a week or something.
I don't remember what was going on, but
I don't remember why. I think they was
this whole time was a blur for me because I was also pregnant at the time.
Yeah, she's pregnant with our second kid at that point.
Emotionally pregnant. I don't remember a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, and then when we finally did come up to sign it, we signed the papers and stuff, and I was going to be off work, or I was going to go to work that day, but I was going to go late because we was going to be up here, and I was going to have to go back to Piggott and then back up here. So that's like an hour drive there, almost an hour drive back. So I told them I'd be in a little late and stuff. And so we signed the papers, went home, dropped her off or something. I think I dropped you off.
I don't remember, but I know you got a call. You got a call about our storage unit.
No, I didn't.
Did you not?
Nope.
Oh, I don't know.
No, because
I don't remember any of
we
this
went
crap.
to back. I think I dropped you off. And then I went to the storage unit. Or maybe you was with me when I went to the storage unit. Then I dropped you off. But we was going to go there.
Yeah, you were going to grab some stuff. And
we was going to grab the
house.
vacuum and the broom and stuff so we can start kind of cleaning in here and stuff before we started painting. And so I went there to grab that. And when I got there, our lock had been cut. The door was partially open. And about half of our stuff was gone.
Yeah, a bunch of the stuff that was in front was gone.
Yeah,
we had a
and
mini
some
fridge
of it wasn't even ours.
A mini fridge that my sister needed to store, that was gone. Had this really cool chest that I inherited from my family that was still living, but it was mine now. That was gone. Had a bunch of
that thing from Allie and them, wasn't it? That little side table thing
that went with the chest. It was gone too. But
I had electric guitar and all kinds of stuff, and that was
all
gone.
sorts of crap was taken.
And then a bunch of boxes and
a bunch of boxes of clothes and like his old work pants and such. We had this really ugly duck piggy bank, the really big one that was full of money that they took because we were like, you know what, that can go to the baby.
Yeah,
it didn't go to the baby. It went to some crackhead.
Yeah.
And his cards. We had I think your Xbox got stolen too, right? Your original Xbox? No,
because we had it with us in our room.
Oh, he kept the Xbox, not the cards.
No, because that's something we could play in there. Because we had a TV and our PlayStation and Xbox and stuff in our room.
He didn't want to keep his cards though, but they took them.
Oh well, but they took a bunch of
radio.
Stuff. Yeah, but they stole a whole bunch of stuff. Like
they basically got to the point where it was big furniture, and then they took a break, and they were probably going to come back and clean it out.
When they got caught, or they said that they was planning on coming back, and then when they came back, it was empty.
But it was my sister's boyfriend at the time, and then his Weasley friend, and then probably some other friends of theirs because they didn't have vehicles. So I mean, they had help.
So I guess they had probably just broke in probably that day. Because the fact that they was
the reason why we suspected them to begin with, we didn't even have suspicions about it, but we already had issues with them taking stuff from us before because they mentioned, what was it, money out of your center console? They
stole my money, yeah.
Yeah, and they named exactly how much was up there too.
I don't know. I don't remember that, but I remember one time when I was going Papa Bluff to Johnny Mac's. I used to make music and stuff and went to the studio. He went with me, and then one of his friends, Zach, little puppy dude, he went with us, and then we was going up to Johnny Mac's. But before we got to Johnny Mac's, I dropped Zach off at his house because he lived in Papa Bluff as well. So I dropped him off, so it was just me and Reggie. And then we went to Johnny Mac's, and then when we got done, I went to leave, and then I needed gas. And at that point, I had an Equinox, and the dashboard or whatever on the Equinox, the center part above the radio and stuff is like a little opening. It has a little pop-up cubby there or whatever. And most people don't notice that because most cars don't have a cubby in the middle on top. You got the glove box, but not right there on top. But I had always kept, I don't know.
He kept backup money up there.
A little bit, maybe like $100, $200, something like that. Mainly because I don't know what it is, but my debit card for the life of me doesn't work at times.
Yeah.
Even back then.
Even now.
Even now it doesn't. I'll get brand new ones. Some places it'll work, some places it doesn't. Now then I have to try it like
that's debit cards anywhere nowadays.
I know. But I mean, you know how much problems I have with mine for no reason.
I know.
And I was having issues back then, as well as I stopped at Vegas a lot for gas because I was going back and forth between Piggott and Papa Bluff, and there's a gas station at State Line there, and that's where I usually got gas.
Did they even take card there?
They did not take card there. So I always
because I remember that little hole in the wall gas station.
Yeah, at that point they didn't. They probably do now, but at that point they didn't.
Snacks there.
They did. I always got my breakfast of champions there. Some
Mountain Dew and Snickers.
No.
See, when I worked at Anchor, they asked us a question. They were like, if y'all answer this question correctly, you'll get the breakfast of champions, which was a Mountain Dew and Snickers. I didn't answer the question correctly because I was dead tired and it was 7 a.m.
No, mine was those Slim Jims and a chocolate milk.
Milk and Slim Jim. There we go.
I would get 2 Slim Jims and chocolate milk.
What's the real breakfast of champions? Is it Mountain Dew and Snickers or is it Slim Jims and chocolate milk?
That's why I had a lot of times when I was going to college.
Some people it's Red Bull and cigarettes. I mean, whatever wakes you up in the morning.
I guess. But on our way back, so this is after I dropped off Zach, after we had been to Johnny Mac's, I stopped there to get gas. I filled up with gas. I didn't have any cash in my wallet, so I popped that open, grabbed some, went in, paid, came out, tossed it back in there, closed it, went on home. And we got home. We was there, I don't know, he was at work. And
Reggie hangs out there for a bit and then he leaves.
Yeah, he goes in, he's all like stoned and stuff, got the munchies. He goes in there, gets a bowl of cereal, eats it, and he gets that done, and then he leaves. About 5 minutes after he leaves, I leave to go pick you up from work. And I go out there, my car door is open, And the things popped up. No money. And then Reggie swore up and down. I was like, it was Zach. Zach took it. He said he took this much. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, Zach didn't even know that thing existed. And he was in Papa Bluff.
He said like this off the wall number, like $163. He's like, Zach said he took like $163 from your thing. Why would you say $163? Like, why that specific amount?
Who knows? I was like, Zach didn't even know it was there. He was left in Papa Bluff, which is like almost an hour away from where we was at. Mm-hmm. I was like, no. And then the door was open and the thing was popped up when I left. I was like, I know he didn't do it.
Yeah.
But
he claimed it wasn't him. Yeah. But they broke into our storage unit, cracked the lock, broke into it. They, of course, swore up and down it wasn't them. And then a week later, once things died down, they admitted that it was them.
Yeah. Well, the cops finally caught them. Where I think they was breaking in.
Never got any of our crap back, though.
No, the cops found some of it and had us
the cops found one thing, which was a radio
that we care less about.
We could have cared less about. We really just wanted the dang chest. I wanted that chest, and you wanted your magic cards back.
I wanted a lot of that stuff because I wanted my guitar. And
I wanted those magic cards back.
I wanted the expensive stuff.
Do you not know how much magic cards could have been?
I know.
They weren't much. They wouldn't have been worth anything because we played them with no sleeves.
Oh, there for a while we had sleeves. We had the cool little silky sleeves until we started having to have the flippies.
Yeah, and then the flippies got tiresome.
Yeah. Well.
But yeah, we figured they probably sold the cards to random people around town because everybody in Piggott either played D&D.
I think they
played Magic.
It was Kenneth that called us that they found the radio. So they could have sold it to that card shop right there when you come into Kenneth.
Yeah, it's possible. Never even thought to ask them.
Because I know that was a place where you could, trade and sell, and they had the little tournaments and things.
Didn't even think about that.
I didn't either at that point.
It's too late now. It's been
of course, we didn't even turn it into the cops at first. I was like, whatever. I was like, it's gone. I know how it's going to be. They're not going to find anything.
Yep.
And then afterwards, it was like a week or so later, that's when the people at the storage, that owned the storage units or whatever, called me. And it's like, did you have your storage locker broke into or whatever? Well, I was like, yep. And they're like, oh. And I forgot how that got brought up. I think somebody else might have that issue. Then they noticed it or something. I don't know. That's when they was like, yeah, we reported to the cops and this and that. So then we went and talked to the cops, and
nothing came of it.
They found that one thing, and we still didn't even get it.
Yeah, they were like, well, they said something about they'd do the investigation, and then we claimed that it was ours. It was my stupid radio. Even had the stupid sticker that I had on it, but of course we had no proof.
Yeah, but I mean,
it's probably still sitting there gathering dust to this day.
I doubt it. that was 12 years ago.
I don't know.
I ain't going to still be there.
They pawned it off to make money.
Probably.
But yeah. And that was the end of our nerddom.